time for this week's Pick of the Litter, brought to you by our friends at Best Mattress. And joining us right now is Executive Director of Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions, Christy Dineff, along with this little bundle of cute Kevin. Christy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having us.
It's a pleasure, especially when you have something as tiny and adorable as Kevin in your hands. Tell us a little bit about Kevin and his backstory and how you guys found him.
Kevin is just about 8 weeks old, so he's going to be ready for adoption very soon. But he was found in a dumpster when he was just 3 days old. He had no mom in sight. He really needed help, and a really nice person stepped in to help him, brought him to a local animal hospital who reached out to us to see if we could help. We were able to put him into foster where he was bottle fed, really raised quite well. Now he's ready to go home. In just a few days, he's going to be neutered and ready to go. So we're really excited. He's such a success case from trash to treasure.
From trash to treasure is a great way of describing it. So for future reference, Christy, when people find a kitten such as Kevin in that situation, whether it be a dumpster, in a box, on the street, what's your advice for how they should handle that situation in order to get him to people like yourself?
The first thing to take into account is whether there is a mom that's coming back. A lot of people assume that when they find kittens that they don't have a mom, that they need immediate help. But the best thing to do is try to make sure that there is a mom coming back. And the way to do that is just to leave them alone, because a lot of times the mom is scared away by people getting involved. But if it is determined that there is no mom coming back, then it would be a good time to intervene. Like in Kevin's case, there was no mom coming for him, and he definitely needed an intervention pretty quickly because he was so small. So after assessing that situation, definitely reach out to an organization like ours, and we can give a little bit of advice. We are here to support the community through any of those decisions.
I think some of the things you mentioned as well, Christy, are really helpful for people to understand. I think, there might be some people out there who think that, rescue's just taking animals and then they adopt them out. Kevin is a great example. You guys have taken him in since he was a very small kitten, and there are a certain number of things that you guys have to spend money on before he can be legally adopted out. So could you just run through some of the, the regular costs that a rescue incurs in taking in a kitten before he's available for adoption, like Kevin?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it is the kitten's best chance of survival to stay with their mom, because they provide the warmth, the feeding, the care that they need. And so to be able to replicate that without a mom takes quite a bit of work and, of course, monetary support, which we couldn't be able to provide without the support of the community. That includes also fosters who dedicate sort of care around the clock, sometimes feeding every 2 hours. And it requires quite a bit of supplies in that case. So the formula, the bottles, the heating pads, kittens can't even digest their food without being the right temperature. So making sure that we have all of that supportive care takes quite a bit of cost. Plus the medical care that we're able to provide, making sure they're up to date on vaccines, that they're spayed or neutered. And of course, if they have additional medical needs, if they get sick or if they're injured, there's potentially even hundreds of dollars more of medical attention that is required before they're ready to go.
And you mentioned obviously all those kind of expenses that go into this. Some people might not be able to adopt because of their living situation or allergies. Could be a number of different things. So you mentioned things like vaccines and round-the-clock care. How can people donate to you? How can people, lend a hand or volunteer? What's the best way for them to get in touch with Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions?
We need all kinds of support. So whatever you're interested in getting involved in, there is a way for you to help save little guys here like Kevin. I mentioned fostering. If you're interested in adopting, that's wonderful. If you can't adopt or you're not ready to commit to a full-time pet, fostering is a great option because you get to have a fun little kid like this with you, or maybe even an adult for a limited amount of time. We also need volunteers in our adoption center here to help care for these cats and help send them home. And of course, we always need support from our community, either with monetary donations or sort of supplies and that sort of thing. On our website, homewardboundcats.org, you can take a look at all of the ways you could potentially donate, including some options that are no cost to you. So if you're interested in donating off our wish list, or making just a monthly donation or a one-time donation, you can always do that on our website or by stopping into our adoption center.
If someone wants to adopt Kevin today, what would they need to do?
So Kevin has to be neutered before he's available, but he will be available within the next week or so. And he is just going to have that. And you can contact us at adoptions@homewardboundcats.org if you're interested in learning more about Kevin. Or we have dozens of other cats and kittens who are looking for great homes as well. Our adoption center is open Wednesdays through Sundays from noon to 6 p.m. And you don't need an appointment. You can just stop on in and visit our any available cats or kittens as well.
Head on down to Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions, meet Christy, and check out great kittens like Kevin and other great cats as well. Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions is also offering half-price adoptions for adult cats now through Sunday, October 15th. And Kevin will be available for adoption soon through Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions. And if you take him home from this feature, you'll receive a complimentary bed from Best Mattress and the best kitten kisses from Kevin himself. Christy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.